New developments tonight at 9 and the strange goings-on surrounding Lori Vallow Daybell. A medical examiner in Arizona now saying that her brother, Alex Cox, died of natural causes. CBS 2's Trevor Fay has the latest.
Cox, 51, was found unresponsive on his bathroom floor and pronounced dead at the hospital on December 12, 2019, according to EastIdahoNews.com. In July of that year, he had shot and killed Lori's estranged husband, Charles Vallow. He said it was in self-defense. No charges were ever filed. Cox's autopsy shows he had a blocked artery in his lung. The report states his artery was narrowed by a buildup of plaque. He also had high blood pressure. The autopsy report comes just 1 week after Lori Vallow was in court asking that her $1 million bail be reduced. The judge said no. So she remains in jail awaiting her preliminary hearing on July 9th. Among the charges are 2 counts of felony abandonment of her 2 children. Tylee and JJ haven't been seen since September of last year. In Boise, Trevor Fay, CBS 2 News.
The job numbers are in. Millions of Americans have been laid off, many of those right here in Idaho. The national unemployment rate is now 14.7%. So what does this mean for our economy? We have team coverage this afternoon. We start with CBS 2's Scott Logan, who continues to bring awareness to the issue in our community and the long wait to get that help.
As the weeks grind on, many out-of-work Idahoans are at their wits' end, wondering when their unemployment benefits will arrive. Wayne Byerly was laid off from his job as a truck driver in circumstances unrelated to the pandemic.
It's making it so that we're living off of our meager savings.
But now he's in the pool of thousands and thousands of Idahoans looking for work in a nation that hasn't been this unemployed since the Great Depression that lasted from 1929 to 1939. Wayne is also one of many Idahoans who remains in the dark about his state unemployment benefits from the Idaho Department of Labor.
It's like a catch-22. You just keep going around in circles chasing your tail. And so it's frustrating, but I can only imagine having their job too.
Wayne and his wife Betsy, who's a full-time student at KBOI, have 3 children, one of them a special needs child, so one parent needs to be at home.
He's a joy. Say hi.
Hi.
Meantime, at the closed-down Sportsman's Hideout in downtown Caldwell, owners Nikki and Jim Barris are waiting for Phase 4 of the governor's reopening plan for bars and nightclubs, scheduled to start June 13th. But they're unable to find out anything from the state about their federal unemployment benefits. They worry they won't have a business left to reopen.
Putting us out to the middle of June doesn't agree with President Trump's plan, number 1. He has us in Phase 2. For some reason, Governor Little has put us out to Phase 4. We are all able and willing to open with all of the recommendations from the CDC and our local health departments.
We need to open up. I mean, we're no different than a restaurant. They've got bars in them. They're allowing them to serve drinks in the restaurants. Why can't we?
With the Associated Press reporting the vice president's press secretary has now tested positive, it's another example of vulnerability despite precautions, though President Trump defending his not wearing a mask when with World War II veterans Friday afternoon.
We were very far away, you saw, plus the wind was blowing so hard in such a direction that if the plague ever reached them, might be very surprised.
Many continue the drumbeat of demanding more testing if there's to be an accelerated return.
We have about 1/3 of the tests that we need across the United States of America. The President of the United States should use his statutory authority to dramatically expand the number of tests that are available so that we can talk about opening this economy with confidence.
And those who've been slow about relaxing the rules feeling more than just pressure.
Across the nation, we have seen other freely elected leaders of both parties, by the way, demeaned and depicted as Hitler himself. It is ignorant and it is repugnant.
The people want to come back. I think some people don't want it really to come back for political reasons, which is sick.
A historically bad jobs report Friday showed unemployment above 14%. hurting the federal government hard too. Tax collections down a whopping 55% in what's typically the government's biggest month of collections. Back to those jobs numbers, the Labor Department says 20 million people lost work in April alone, wiping out 10 years of gains in just 1 month. On Capitol Hill, I'm Scott Thuman.
Well, it's called the End of Summer Party for the Treasure Valley, the Western Idaho Fair. It is scheduled to run August 21st through the 30th, but will the coronavirus keep the fairgrounds shuttered this year? Now, CBS 2 spoke with the executive director of the fair today. Erica Lee explains the challenges that lie ahead.
The Western Idaho State Fair is one of the biggest events in the Treasure Valley each year, drawing tens of thousands of people. And it may or may not take place this year. Bob Batista, director of the fair, says the future of the fair this year is uncertain.
You know, we're cautiously optimistic planning. This event takes a full year to go around the clock and get done. When we first ended last year, we started on this year. And for the most part, we've got everything in place. It's you know, there's a lot of logistics that goes to putting, as I've said to you before, this little city together, and to make sure that you have all the components that are in parts and pieces that are all safe for everybody, because that's what they want to do when they come to the fair. Their primary goal is to have fun, but our primary goal is to make sure they have fun safely.
Batista says if it does happen, there are many issues to consider for social distancing. How do you have people line up at the food trucks? How do you pack people into the stands for animal competitions and concerts? These are all tough questions with health and safety as the top priority.
We run as an independent business for Ada County, but we do follow all the rules and regulations. So we'll look at all the things that go into play in putting this together, and then making sure the governor and the health districts and the commissioners and all the people that are important in this know where we're at. But at the end of the day, this venture can't be about losing money to put on an event.
He says he will take pieces and parts and learn from other businesses and events like farmers markets who are social distancing, and consult with government and health officials to see if it is possible to open the fair this year.
This event is the highlight of so many people's lives because it affects so many people's lives, not only as from a commercial standpoint, from the vendors that are out there, but from kids and livestock and farmers and ranchers and commercial exhibits and grandmas and grandpas and kids who make stuff to show at the fair. And it's just a great place as we all starting to feel this right now. We do need to be around people. And as long as we, in this period, do it safe, maybe there's something we can do.
Erica Lee, CBS 2 News.